Hi everyone, so this is a video I've been meaning to do for a long time. This is a quick sketchbook tour of the last sketchbook I finished. This is a Leuchtturm, I'm never sure to pronounce it, Leuchtturm 1970. I bought this on sale last year. This is actually the first time I used that kind of sketchbook. And yeah, I just randomly found it on sale, and it was I think like $30 instead of $45. These are not cheap sketchbook, but I found that I really had a good experience with it so far, and like my current sketchbook also is the same type. It's 9 by 12, which is, you know, an important size, basically like the size of a laptop. And yeah, it's 180 GCSM, so it's a really nice paper. I started this on January 11 and I finished it on July 20th, so it took me like 7 months maybe to finish, but I did get an iPad Pro like in between me finishing, like starting and finishing it, so there was a times where I wasn't drawing in it as much as I used to. Most of what is going to be in it is like OCs and stuff, and this sketchbook was really like kind of like a turning point for me, like art-wise. Before I used to use Canon XL like sketchbook and like the multimedia paper, and at the time I thought like, oh, these were like the best ones, but once I switched this one I realized like I work much better on this really smooth paper. So as you can see, there's nothing on this page. Like I just like tested like markers in there. I usually don't draw on the first page of sketchbook. I feel like it really like avoids the like first page pressure where you're like, oh, I need to do the most perfect drawing on it, so I just skip it. So there are some OCs. I was like, some of the OCs in there are mine, or like they're like friends, or like, you know. Yeah, I use like blue pencils to sketch a lot. I really like the contrast that it creates, and I just find that like it's easier to work with. I use both like the Prismacolor color rays and also like the Pilot. Like they have like it's like a mechanical pencil that has like blue light in it. Yeah, this is like a little like, I used like a regular pen for this one, and it was really interesting. Like I in my current sketchbook I've been using just like a quick, like a regular ballpoint pen to draw, because I'm not the best at using like markers to line. Using the sketchbook I use a lot of like pencil to kind of like do the line art. The only problem with that is that like it's kind of smudges. You can probably kind of see here. I don't know if you'll see, but it's like it's smudge. But I don't really use my sketchbook for finished pieces anymore. I do prefer to, like, this is kind of like where I explore ideas and where I, you know, own my art skills, I guess. And instead I just use like my iPad or like my computer tablet to do finish illustration. Sometimes I'll take like things from the sketchbook and I'll like transfer it, like I scan it or I take a picture and I just finish it digitally like that. There's a few of them in there that like I'll show you like the finished piece digitally, because I've like taken them directly from the sketchbook. These, like the box ads, I think it was Sush or like Tricky Wagon. She had like she's like this free PDF. I'll maybe put a link down below where she explained like a few like art tips, and one of them was like using like a box to draw ads, and I found that was really like informative. It's something that I still use sometimes, especially for like art angle, like, you know, the ones where it's like you show like the underside of the chin. Oh yeah, this page was like, I don't know, like I had feeling kind of stuck for a while, and I just kind of like was like, okay, I don't care what things look like, and I, you know, this is like something that like I don't draw usually, like this is so different from my style, but I just kind of went for it and like just kind of like would do like a line of action and then like make a character, you know. More ads. Oh yeah, sometimes I like to fill up the page, because, you know, like I said, this is an expensive sketchbook, and one of the things it really taught me is to like fill out pages almost as, you know, as much as I can. I think with sketchbooks it's sometimes like it's easier to become kind of precious. I think with any sort of art material, when they're more expensive, it's easier to become precious with them. and you know, you feel like you shouldn't use it even though, you know, you paid for it, or like you feel like you should only use it for like special illustration and whatnot. But I think it's really important that, like, if you buy an art supplies, you know, use it. I think what we do as artists sometimes when we buy something nice is that we only think about the potential of it, and then when you like, you know, when it's there and you're like, oh, I could do something nice with it, but you're not committing to it, you're just kind of stuck in this fantasy of thinking of all the things you could do with it but not actually doing it, right? So I think it's important to take the first step and really kind of commit to using what you got, even though it's like you feel like you might ruin it when it's nice. Oh, this one I did turn into a digital piece. Maybe I'll just put it like beside. But yeah, what I was saying with, like, you know, trying to use the most of the space. Okay, some of these spaces, you know, some of these pages, you know, do have some gaps, but I do try in general to use it as much as possible. And also, yeah, because before in my previous sketchbook, I would often be like, I would draw, like, let's say I started like an ad and it wasn't good, I would just move on. You know, so I would have this big empty page that I didn't really use. There would just like be like an unfinished ad on it. I don't know if you maybe have noticed before, like, I'll have like little kind of like, I use thumbnails a lot, to, especially when I use reference, like, instead of like directly like drawing the thing first, I'll just do like a little thumbnail in the corner to sort of just figure out like the general forms and whatnot. I think this one I turned into a gouache painting. I've only painted with gouache like twice. I don't like it as much as I thought I would. Good. Some more. Like, you see, you know, you're like all on the edge, kind of try to fit more ed around. Oh, and you might have noticed there's a few tape. Oh, I think this is, no, there was another one that was like, there was tape on the edge. It's just because the pages, I'm like hiding pages that have like non-safe for work stuff, because I did like carry this sketchbook around, so I didn't want people to see things they didn't want to see. This was like a day I was like, I want to draw eyes, you know. I don't know, like when I was younger I would often like draw like random like anime eyes in the corner of like my own work and whatnot. So I just went kind of like on Pinterest and look at faces and drew different type of eyes. It was really fun. Sometimes it's fun to just like focus on like one body part, and I find this kind of like studies, they're very low stress, you know, because you're just drawing whatever you see, and if it doesn't look good, it's okay, because it's just a study, right? So oh, these are like the very rare fan art that I have in there. It's Link from Breath of the Wild. I think I turned this one, I tried to do like a gouache painting of it, but I never finished it because gouache is hard. Well, maybe it's not that hard, but it's just it's a new medium for me and I don't have the time and patience for it. This was like a silly sticker ID that I haven't finished. Maybe I'll do it like one day. I do have a sticker club now, so maybe I could like put that in there. Oh, these were studies that I've done. This also like helped me, like, I don't really do studies in my main sketchbook anymore. I do have like another kind of more scrappy sketchbook for that, but I did find that this helped me like make this feel less precious also, because you know it's not like a finished drawing, it's not like pretty or anything, they're just like studies, right? So these were like ads. I think like now the continuation of the ad. Oh, finally some ink drawings. This one I also turned into a digital piece. Yeah, more studies. Oh, this one also turned into a digital piece. This was really like, you know, when you have like kind of like a breakthrough piece or like a piece that felt like way beyond your level. This was really one of them. Like every time I go through this sketchbook, it really kind of stands out to me. And the fact that also like I lined it, like I said, I'm not the best at using like pens for lining, so it was really scary to be like, okay, I did this really good drawing, I don't want to like mess it up. But yeah, I think it turned out good, and like I said, I did finish it digitally after. Oh, more studies, arms. Oh, that was a portrait that like I don't know, I thought it turned out like really good. I really like the softness of like the pencil I use. Oh, more cities that I think I didn't finish like this one, in a sense that like I only did like the bones of the leg and I didn't move on to like the muscle lesson. This was me trying to figure out how to draw new OCs, which I think I have more drawing of him later. I think these were done like I was out with friends drawing, and so I think that's why there's not much around, because it was kind of like once I was done with the day, I just kind of moved on to new pages. This one I think was from reference. This one I actually did only in blue, like pencil at first, and then I went back much later and I like inked it. Some more. This was like a suit study. I think this one is too faint for you to be able to see, but I was trying to like figure out like banners and stuff for my Etsy shop. Oh, this one I did turn into a digital piece, and his character has tattoos, so that when I drew it like in my sketchbook, I was like, I'm not gonna bother because they're really elaborate, but I did have to do them when I did it digitally. Oh, so we're skipping a bunch of not-safe pages here. See. This was like a page of like studies. I think this one really turned out good. Like I think I was really able to capture like the emotion of the original piece. Well, the original picture, I mean. More studies, OCs. Oh, other fan art. This was I was trying to figure out to draw a mob from like Mob Psycho, but like more in my style, because my style I don't think it's like fully realistic, but it kind of leans more towards it. And if you're familiar with the series, you know, like the way the eyes are drawn and stuff is not realistic at all. So I was trying to see if I could like figure out to draw them in my style. These were just I was drawing a gaming system. I think it was for like a sticker sheet ID. Maybe I'll do that eventually. This is kind of like, I really like those like sort of like, I see it a lot on like Japanese clothes and whatnot, like, well, Japanese, you know, when you see like those like Harajuku fashion things that are not really actually Harajuku fashion, but it's just like the kind of a certain graphic style. And I really like the like kind of juice boxes and whatnot that you'll often see on those. But I like the idea of like juice boxes being kind of transparent and there's like content in them, but it's like not what should be in a juice box. So this one is kind of like a sea, and it's like someone on like a tube just like chilling in the water. This one I think I like did it and then I went back and lined it. Legs. I really struggle at drawing legs. I don't know why. I never get like the kind of the way they connect and look good, so I kind of did a page of drawing legs. Oh, this page was like I threw like straight up in ink, like no sketch underneath. It was really like, I know some people said it's a good way to improve, but I just found it really scary. I don't think for me that really works. But maybe I could just try to do it more often. But it was an interesting exercise. I think it's important to just like try different things. If they don't work, not necessarily like dismiss them completely, but just sort of find what works for you and what doesn't. Because, you know, maybe this would have been like, wow, I really enjoyed this and I could continue doing this, you know, but I didn't. Oh, I don't know why, I really like this one. I think like there are some things that we saw that I lined that I kind of like, I lined this and I went back because this was done with an ink pen that I did not like when I bought it. Like when I bought it, like I tried it and I really didn't like it, and I kind of put it aside, and one time I was like, okay, I'll just pull it and like just to kind of like finish it almost. But then I did this piece and I think it really like helped me find a way to ink that like worked for me at the time, which is kind of like doing this kind of like this like really quick motion of like, okay, like angular. I think it's something I need to go back and explore more. But... oh, this is also kind of founder, I guess. So last summer I did Table of the Cons. I was kind of like trying to come up with like more fan arts and stuff for it, and I wanted to do a Splatoon print that I never got around to do because I ran out of time, but I was trying to figure out how to draw the Splatoon kids in my style, which was art. I actually did some in like digital first, but like this one I think turned out okay, but I wasn't really able to recreate that kind of look after. This was a page of nose, like I just like, it's like the eye thing I did, like I just looked up noses and, well, not noses but like faces, and I just drew the nose. Yeah, that was like more Splatoon characters here. Oh, here too. Oh, this was like, I did this because I was listening to some podcasts, and they were talking about, they said something like, it was like 3-point perspective, which I really recommend to listen to if you're like any kind of artist. They mention, oh, like, there's something that if you open like an like student like sketchbook, 90% of it's just gonna be like faces or like, you know, portraits or stuff, or like just like a character standing, instead of like having a character be in an environment. Like it was, I think he was saying like, if you draw a character like in a situation, then you're already doing more than like most people are doing. So it really made me think about the fact that, you know, I often draw like just like a character like floating in the void. So I tried to like put one of my OCs in like, he's like sitting like on the rooftop or something. So studies, faces. I think some of these are studies. Yeah, like you can see, like, you know, this is like more like a character like in a situation, you know, he's eating at a diner. Sometimes I like try to figure out like how to draw something, but I won't really kind of commit to it. I'll just be like I wouldn't really consider that to be even like a finished drawing, but I was just kind of like trying to figure out like something, and then I was intended to draw like a more finished piece with it, but I never did. Or like a few of these are just, you know, like trying to figure out like a pose for something. I think these ones were like, this is what I end up drawing with. Oh, then this one like with the cross arm, it turned out into this one. But yeah. Oh, this, I have these like pencil brush pen I really like, and I need to use them more. I think that I really like the look of like a flat color background, or like just like a shape that's like a flat color as the background. So I kind of did this with these pieces, and I like, because, you know, it's a brush pen, it kind of can't get dry if you don't like constantly pump it. So yeah, I haven't used it yet, I think, in my other sketchbook, and maybe I should go back to doing that. Oh, this is, I think like a way back I was talking about an OC I was trying to figure out to draw, and then like I reached a point in like developing like the character where it's like, okay, I need to actually make him into a character and everything. So that's kind of what I started doing there. Yeah, that's him too. Oh, that's another one I did like with the pencil. I think the green one wasn't a pencil, it's like a knockoff one that I didn't like as much because it was like really watery. So this is, I don't think I'm gonna show it. I haven't like actually seen it myself in a while. Oh, it's bad. Yeah, so it's like a face that I drew that like turned out like, I don't know what happened, but it turned out really bad. And so I just put a post-it on it and tried to draw it over it so I could like cover my shame. a shoe. I was just like, I think I saw like a nice shoe like somewhere online. I just drew it. Oopsies. Oh, this was another one that was kind of like placing a character in an environment. Oh, you can't see it. But there's like an abandoned house. Because one of my OC does the kind of like, like this is Quentin. He does like urban exploring. So this was kind of like him going to like some old abandoned house, like on a field or something. And that's the last page. And oh, that's Quentin again. So you see, this is more something that's like in an environment, right? Like there's like a fence and he's like sitting against it or on a skateboard or something. So yeah, that was the end of my sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed going through it with me. My current sketchbook, I'm about like halfway through, and I started in August, so I don't know like how fast I'm going to be able to go through it. I've been going kind of fast through it, so once I'm done, I'll do like a sketchbook tour of it. Oh yeah, finally, like I forgot about like to show you the stickers on my cover. This is something I like to do because I'm subscribed to like a few Patreon like sticker club, and usually when I get a new one, I'll like stick like stickers on it. My current sketchbook is like way more sticker on it than this one. This one, I think it came from Etsy or Redbubble, but I don't know who the artist is because it was like a gift. A few of the smaller ones, basically all, well, not this one, all of these are, and the strawberry are by Joyceanne. I'll leave her link down below because she has like a Patreon sticker club, and also she has her own YouTube channel here, which I really recommend checking. Oh yeah, these two are from her too. These two really cute ones are by Punimel or Michi. I'm also subscribed to a Patreon sticker club. And these two are made by me. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I really look forward like showing you my next sketchbook.